Today's disability benefit tip is obtain objective evidence to support your long-term disability claim. Hi, I'm attorney Gregory Dell and I'm joined by attorney Cesar Gavidia. Good morning, Cesar.
Morning.
And objective evidence is one of the single most important things in any long-term disability insurance claim. It's almost a rarity that someone gets approved for a disability claim if they don't have it, although there are medical conditions that don't have objective evidence. So talk about why is it essential to have this objective evidence if someone wants to have the best chance to get their disability benefits approved?
Well, the insurance company's typically looking for testing data, something that substantiates or supports your complaints, your symptoms, even your diagnoses. So when we talk about objective types of tests or objective data, you have x-rays, you have CT scans, you have MRIs. That kind of gives you an understanding of what's going on inside, right? It'll give you, perhaps if you're dealing with a spinal condition, if you have disc bulges, herniations, if you have compression on nerves or on your spinal cord or something like that. So that's typically something your doctors are going to do if you have, you're presenting with certain complaints or certain symptoms. But then we start getting into functionality testing, right? So you get into different types of objective tests that show perhaps a degree of impairment or functionality limitations. So we're talking about functional capacity testing. We're talking about even in the cognitive scape, we're talking about cognitive neuropsychological testing, and these are done by basically professionals, people that are experts in conducting these examinations.
And so what would be the difference so that someone's clear on objective evidence versus subjective evidence in a disability claim?
So subjective evidence is typically something that you self-report, your own complaints. You're talking about, well, I have a degree of pain, here's what it is, this is where I feel it, this is how often it occurs. That's kind of a subjective type of evidence. Objective is something that is done through verified testing, okay? And they can see, based on the data that's produced by that testing, what's going on.
Right, and what I always like to tell people is the most obvious form of objective testing is you go in and say your back hurts, and then they do an x-ray and they find that your spinal cord is fractured. Yeah. So an x-ray, an MRI, a CT scan, those are the types of objective tests, and a lot of times doctors don't right away request MRIs or CTs because someone could have temporary pain, but obviously with a long-term disability, you're having this chronic suffering that's going on. So when your doctor recommends objective testing or doesn't recommend an objective test, as a claimant, you should definitely be requesting that because the disability company is going to be looking for that evidence. So,
yeah, absolutely.
So in these long-term disability claims, it's best to get as much objective evidence as you have because the number one denial reason we get is to say that your subjective complaints are not supported by objective evidence. And what we always say is, well, that does happen. You may not have strong objective evidence, but you treat a patient, you don't treat the chart. And that's what we argue on behalf of the claimants to be able to get over the threshold of you may not have strong objective evidence, but you can still get your benefits approved for disability. So if you have a long-term disability claim, no matter where you live in the country, I encourage you to contact myself or Cesar or any of our long-term disability lawyers. We would like the opportunity to provide you with an immediate free consultation to discuss your claim. It's super easy to contact us. You can call the number below or submit a free consult request on our website. We also encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking the link below as we regularly put out these videos on a weekly basis to help educate people like you about the disability claim process. We truly believe that the more educated you are about this process, the better position you're going to be in to secure your long-term disability benefits. So if we can help you protect your benefits in the future, we look forward to the opportunity to speak with you.